Okay, this is the just a basic walkthrough of the generator asset. This is a little bit different appearance because, well, it's not the multiplayer version. So the multiplayer version is black, full black. This one has some texture to it, some life, some color, and it can show off a little bit more of the ability we have to populate it with the right colors and things to that effect, and also some labeling with regard to the controls, um, the dust covers, the caps, and things like that. You can see these uh, latches and locks. They pop out a lot more than the original. You can also see the control panel. I'll get in a little closer. So you can manipulate these surfaces to make them functional, and you can manipulate the screen here to have a readout, so that when you operate the device and you input different things, you can populate the screen with the appropriate readings that it would show for whatever settings that you might have. And we can also scale this. So say, you know, your device actually has an arrangement that is totally different, where the controls are laid out here and the readout screen is here, and it's a much larger readout screen and there's bigger buttons. We can do that. We can make the scale, we can make the size, we can make the accuracy, the dust covers and the switches and the dials. We can make them. But this is just going to show you what we're capable of doing. You can even see this is a Phillips head screw, and they really do pop out. Um, Same thing for over here. You can see the hinges. There's a little bit of a glare from the reflection of the sun. Um, Walking over here again, we can populate these controls. The keys, or rather, the locks can be made to function with keys. The latches, the door keepers, can be made functional. The hinges again. The tires, I think I mentioned in a previous tutorial. The tires, they can be made to be flat. They can made to roll. Um, the dolly, the elevation or the tongue can be raised and lowered by actual functionality with the rotation of the handle, spinning it up, spinning it down. The latch for the tongue, and the cool thing is you can get right to it. If I'm just kneeling down like I would in the real world, I'm kneeling down, and the cool thing is you can walk right over this thing and not bang your knee. And I know about that, and I'm really glad that that's not a problem here in the virtual world. Again, if we just stick our head in this thing, you can see that it's an empty chamber at this point, but we can populate it with an engine for testing of let's say, the fluids, the oil check, the coolant check, any belts that need to be checked. The process can be made to be that accurate to where you go through your checks, you open the access doors, you get in, you have the student or the client demonstrate and the actual process for testing all these platforms, and making them ready. We can also create sound. We can also create situations where the device comes under load while it's running, so it increases the throttle to a high idle, and then we can decrease the load where it would drop down to a low idle. And those audible cues are necessary for an experienced operator to know if the device is working or if it's not working, and not only working but working properly. And we can mimic that so that the student or the client knows when the machine is not working. So you can run a few tests on them and say, okay, you can literally plug in some lights, actually physically plug in lights, have them off site. They can turn on. We can create those assets as well, and then simulate a scenario where the lights go out and now they have to troubleshoot what to do to get those lights back on, or whatever it might be. And we can do that. We can also simulate a building if you'd like. Like, say this device is hooked up to a hospital. We can make a generic hospital with its lights on when the machine is functioning. And when the machine is not functioning properly, we can make the lights in the hospital flicker to indicate, okay, well, you're not really doing your job very well. So go ahead and show us what you would do to create, or rather to get the device functioning again properly. And then when he or she does that operation correctly, the lights go back on and the hospital asset or whatever it might be. Okay, so we're going to be wrapping this tutorial up. Thank you.